Welcome to this video, EFT Tapping, tips for practitioners and trainers working online. I am delighted today to be discussing this with Helena Fone, founder of EFT and Mindfulness and Master EFT Trainer of Trainers. In this video we touch on the following themes: the need to work online, preparing for safe work, what to send in advance, screening clients or trainees, inappropriate referrals, using your body as a barometer, having a free consultation beforehand, and insurance for working online. One thing I would like to ask about specifically is around working with clients online and what you think is important for that to be safe, doable, and the benefit.
Well, obviously, I've been working with clients online because of moving around the world and moving in Malta, and then we spent a lot of time in America, and so just moving around, I found that working online was the only way really I could continue working. So it's not suitable for everybody, and I had a meeting with our members a few weeks ago on this. We've had 2 meetings on this. First of all, online working is not for everybody, so we should never force them. So I may have existing clients that I saw face to face who are not comfortable working online. So the other thing is respecting that. And if you are going to work with an individual online, is to be prepared. Now, at one time, it was frowned upon to work online. E-therapy, or whatever they call it, was frowned upon. But the most respectable organisations now are changing their attitude, certainly because of the current pandemic. They've had to change their attitude, and people need support more than ever now. And if they can get that online, it's better than not providing anything at all. But using EFT online with another individual, then we need to be careful. It's not just talk therapy here. We have the potential to trigger that client. We have the potential to re-traumatize them. So we have to be extra careful. Now, I consulted with our insurance company. I've spoken with many experts who have worked online and with trauma. And the feedback I got has been, if you are adequately trained, if you know what you're doing, it's highly unlikely you will trigger or re-traumatize the client, because you're working exactly the same online as you would be face-to-face. So obviously, if you install the safety techniques with a client, and if you explain those, and I always send those to my clients ahead of the session, I send them a help sheet beforehand, which is the tapping points, which is also how to ground, how to come back into the room, and to think of a safe place in case we need it, and we'll discuss that at the start of the session. And the other thing is to, if they have somebody with them, rather not in the room but in the house, so they're not on their own, and to have some water nearby, and to make, if it's possible, to have their feet on the floor as we're working. And I
wonder about, I have the dilemma around how much we say just in case, or, preframing something, offering these...
sorry.
Versus them thinking, oh my God, what am I getting into?
No, I get you. So I need to backtrack, because I'm thinking of a client I was working with last week. In her intake form, so in the intake form, the consultation form, she had been diagnosed with complex trauma. She had dissociative tendencies. So because of that, I sent her this. I wouldn't send it to somebody who, for instance, the other week there was a lady, one of my clients, a marriage breakup. I wouldn't send all that to her. But if through the session I can observe, or I can sense, or I can see something coming up with that client that we may be touching upon that may be traumatic, I then give them the choice of, do you want to continue with this? Do you want to shelve this until the next session. If we are going to continue, can I just ask you? And that's when I bring those things in. But if we don't know, if we don't have these tools available, Rachel, you see, it's basically, it's having your toolbox available. So you're prepared to working online. An electrician goes out to a house, he goes to a job, he doesn't take one tool with him. So same with EFT, we need to have an adequate number of tools available to us just in case we don't know what we're going to find.
Yeah. So I think what's really important in what you said was by having certain information in the first place about the medical history or mental health history.
Screening, yes.
You are better equipped to know how much to send in terms of managing expectations of what could happen, not necessarily and not very often, but this is possible, and this and these are the things we can do to keep feeling safe enough for either doing the work or stopping until another time when feeling safe enough.
You need that screening tool, and I stress the importance of a screening tool before anybody comes on a course. No matter what their background or qualifications are, you still need to screen them for potential traumas that may be triggered during the course. And to be observant of that and be aware of it. So those things are important. But as I say, if you ask the relevant questions before the session, you are part way ready, prepared, hopefully. And
I mean, I do peer supervision with a psychotherapist in London. I'm in the Midlands, so it's online, and he's been referred people by psychiatrists for trauma work without any adequate information, history, etc. So my supervision with him was around, on a scale of 1 to 10, how safe are you feeling around this referral and around being online with this person in 1 hour's time? And it was like, he was in fight, flight, freeze. And I said, this is not an appropriate referral. And then it kind of, because this was going to happen more and more often with these referrals, it's like, literally, I think the psychiatrists, the whoever they are, was like, ooh, what are we going to do with this one? Hot potato, plonk.
Correct.
Him, you deal with it. But no medical history coming through. And I said, this needs to stop. I said, you take control. You've lost your choice and control here about who you're working with, and being able to use your body as a barometer, as a practitioner, for how safe you feel in this referral, or being face to face with this person. So if I were you, I would take charge and tell them that you will consider working with someone when you know this, this and this, and you may not be the appropriate person to work with them.
Yes, exactly. But going back to the question about online training, the other important thing is, I say, is always to have that consultation with them free beforehand, so you can assess if it's suitable for them, and they think you're suitable for them and they're suitable for you, working online. So have that free consultation beforehand and get used to each other, and build up the rapport. As you say, safety is the most important thing.
And I mean, the most empowering thing for me is to, with trainees or supervisees, is that they do use their own body as a barometer for how safe is this feeling, and what's this telling me if I'm not feeling a bit safe here? Is it telling me that this is beyond the limits of my competence? Is it telling me that I've got a complex client here with and there might be stuff that I don't know that I need to know in advance? You know, all sorts of things like that, especially if it's online.
So and obviously to make sure that you're insured for working online, that's important as well. And if you're working out, you know, in America, you have to make sure that, for instance, I have clients in America and Canada and Hong Kong, all over the world. But again, you should have adequate insurance, and you know, in certain states you need a license to work outside of your jurisdiction. We don't need that in the UK to work outside our jurisdiction, but what we do need is I mean, I've spoken to bailiffs about this, and I've told them that when I'm working online with clients, or when my students are, that we add a disclaimer, which is to say that we are working within the laws of the country that we are, operating from.
If you would like to know more about EFT, please subscribe to my channel and click the notifications bell. Thank you for watching.